Welcome on in, guys. It is three bold takes. Thanks for watching so much. It's Quinn, it's Chase, it's Freddie. We're doing some predictions like we do week to week. Again, USC, LSU is coming on. If you haven't watched our other two videos that we've done so far, or three videos, my bad, that we've done so far, we're just getting into it. So we're waiting on the LSU USC results to know our full predictions for week one. But it does look like Quinn may take the lead for the week. Hopefully that doesn't stay long. But last year, Quinn got off to a slow start. Now he's starting strong. So that's kind of scary. We got to watch out for that. Anyway, we're talking Nebraska. We're talking Colorado. A big matchup from a year ago. I believe Colorado won that game 36-7, was it? I think that was the correct score. Let me just say this for it real quick. Well, hold on, Freddie. Can you give us the breakdown on it? What was the breakdown line by line, what we had?
Yeah, so Nebraska is a 7-point favorite in this meeting here at home with a 60% chance to win, according to ESPN, and the game's at 6:30.
All right, and over under is 56.5. My bad, guys. And let me just say this about last season. 'Cause I'm going to go first. I'm a fan of both of these teams. That's the big thing here. I'm an avid Colorado lover. I think Colorado can be a very good team if they can put their culture and their mindset to it, their mentality to it. Like I said last year, they were going to get into a lot of single score loss games because they didn't have their culture set yet. And they lost a couple of those, and then they lost their head because they were losing some of those. So this year, hopefully, they've turned a new leaf with it. They're probably still going to be in a lot of those close one-score games. It just depends on how the culture was set and how their mentality can change. And Colorado's a really good ball team. They are. They can win 7-8 games. They could also lose 7-8 games. It just depends on how it shifts out for them. Nebraska, I am on the Nebraska Matt Rule loving, thinking that he's going to turn around the program in year two. Jesus-like man that he is. And last year, when I was watching the Nebraska Cornhuskers and watching this game specifically from a year ago, you're losing 36-7 because your quarterback thinks Shiloh Sanders is his wide receiver and didn't understand that, when you throw the ball to the other team, you don't get to stay on the field for very long. Jeff Sims is now, I think, relocated to like Division III NAIA. Please never get on the field ever again. And I think that might be a step up for Nebraska here this year. You got Dylan Raiola. He already looks like Patrick Mahomes. He plays like Patrick Mahomes. He looks good. He feels good. He looks good. He plays good. We're gonna say that. My bad, gentlemen. My bad. He
What did
plays
he
good.
say?
I'm going Nebraska here. I think Big Red, I think the Cornhuskers are going to get it done. I'm a full believer in Dylan Raiola and what they're going to do this season and Matt Rule. I think this is going to be a 10 times different game from a year ago. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I'm going to go Nebraska 27 to Colorado's 21.
Let's start with this. First off, don't put that kind of expectations on a freshman quarterback, please. Don't compare him to Patrick Mahomes. That's not fair to this man. He's going to end up having a clunker at some point in the season.
Although I will say he does it to himself because he dresses like him. So
that's fair. That's fair. But that's just idolizing somebody. He's an 18-year-old, Anyway, this matchup's interesting to me. You got two old school rivals who haven't really gotten to play each other much since they went to the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. Both teams have been abysmal. Just absolute terrible trash heap programs for the last decade. They're both under year two coaches who have a lot to prove, and the pressure's starting to get a little bit hotter. So this game's a big deal. So really for me, it's just which program's going to step up, show that they've grown some cojones, and that they're ready to compete. All right, now look at the game, and I try to tell myself, what do I have confidence in? You know what I don't have confidence in? A bunch of people that sit out in the middle of a cornfield, bored out of their minds, acting like they know what good football is, like just because they used to be good at it in the 90s. I think Colorado does it to them again. Give me the Buffaloes to upset Nebraska, kill this stupid Nebraska hype train that everybody's just pumping into their veins. Them and Tennessee both. Bring in at least with Tennessee, they've showed me something. But you just bring in a star freshman quarterback. You're like, yep, it's gonna work. We're gonna be great. Nebraska's back, man. I've heard this a bunch from Miami for years. All right. And it took a lot for Miami to finally get me to buy in. All right. I don't buy into this Nebraska stuff, and it's all coming down this Saturday when Dion and the boys trounce on them in their own stadium, make them look like fools, and tell them how bad they are while they do it. Give me the Buffaloes.
Wow, that was okay. You were very passionate about that one, Quinn.
I am.
And I respect that. I do respect that.
Somebody's got to come out here and let the people know that Nebraska is trash, because everybody is too busy giving them too much love just because they did good in week 1 against UTEP. All right. It was UTEP. They're not good. They play in the CUSA. It's the worst conference in major power football.
That is true. That is true.
They don't, and they're not even that good inside the CUSA on top of that. So,
yeah. Listen, in this game, I think last year I picked Nebraska to win. In this game last year, that did not happen. It was 36-14. And I think there's two major factors between last year and this year that make me want to believe something. And that's that it's at Nebraska. The fans are going to show up, and they're going to be there because that's what Nebraska does, because they're in a cornfield. There's nothing else to do besides go watch football. So it's going to be a sold-out, packed house like it is every week, right? Don't they hold the record for the most consecutive sold-out games or something along those lines? Don't make an excuse.
The tickets out for
don't
free
make an excuse.
point,
People show up.
It is.
They hand tickets
I'd
out
show up for free too.
They hand tickets out to Miami fans, and they can't pack the house. All right, so it's not just that. All right, now maybe there's a little bit more to do in Miami than there is.
A lot more to do. There's a lot more to do in Miami than Lincoln, Nebraska.
So you've got that going for you if you're Nebraska. Also, Chase, you brought up a good point about the quarterback play last year for Nebraska was piss poor. Now I'm not gonna come on here and say that Dylan Raiola is the next Patrick Mahomes, is this and that. He looked good in week 1. Let's keep in mind it is UTEP, but let's also keep in mind it's his first start, right? He's a true freshman, and to do that in your first start, typically you start slow no matter who the opponent is. So I will give him props for that. He looked pretty good. But I think anything is an upgrade from the quarterback last year and what happened in that game. And that's the reason why Nebraska lost. Now, in the first quarter, this game was very competitive. It was 0-0 after the first. I believe Colorado was up 14-0 at half. And then in the third quarter, Nebraska scored first to make it 14-7. And then Colorado just continued to outscore them because of the turnovers. I like Nebraska in this game. I think the home field advantage will help them out. I think Dylan Raiola will help them out as well. Also, just year 2 in a system is going to be better than year 1. 9 times out of 10. Now, you do have those fluke, years or teams or whatnot, but 9 times out of 10, year 2 is going to be better. I like what Nebraska's got going. I'm not on their hype train now. Don't confuse me for picking them to beat Colorado as I'm on their hype train. To be honest, I think if this game was in Boulder again, I would probably pick Colorado to win because they did impress me last year against this Nebraska team. But I'm going to go Nebraska since it is at home. I think it'll be a very competitive game. What was the spread again? Was it like 7?
Yeah, Nebraska by 7.
Man, that's a perfect line, to be honest, because I was thinking around a 7-point win. I'm going to go with Colorado in the spread, though. I think they keep it close, and they may score a late touchdown to kind of break that as a backdoor cover there.
And what I'd like to add, I believe the last stat I saw was that Hunter played 55 offensive snaps and 69 defensive snaps, something like that. I believe it was he only missed 5 snaps for the entire game. And kind of like there was that narrative last year. I know us 3 discussed it at some point. How long does that keep up? How long does he play both sides this entire game? How much does he go into that? I think he had over 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, in which he's superb on both sides of the ball. Again, should be the #1 draft pick. But do you keep it up in a big game like this on Colorado's slate, you know, when you have even bigger games down the road. So we'll pay attention to that. This is one of our big games. We're super excited for it. All of us have pretty strong opinions on who we like. I'm a big Nebraska believer, guys. So make sure to keep watching these videos, keep up to date with us, and let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Can't wait to hear what you're thinking and what you're saying about this game coming up this weekend. It's Freddie, it's Chase, it's Quinn for 3 Bold Takes. We're out.